Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This video is going to be part one of my eyeshadow declutter. So this is all from my first eyeshadow drawer. These are kept on my desk as well, but I'm going to go through them today. It's not just eyeshadow palettes, but yeah, it's going to be difficult for me. Before I start though, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has liked, commented, watched, subscribed to my channel. That just means so much to me. I really honestly did not think anyone would, let alone over 100 subscribers. Oh my god, that is insane, but thank you so much. Also, I have a wound and it is way too hot at the moment for me to properly care for my sore skin at night, so my hands are a bit not looking very pretty, but yeah, I hope that's okay with you. We are going to start with this bad boy. So this is what I keep in my top eyeshadow drawer. It's basically stuff that doesn't fit in other drawers or doesn't really have a place. So let's go for it. Firstly, these are AOA brush soaps. This is the one I'm using at the moment. If I can open it. So this is what it looks like. It looks a bit manky because I use it, but it has these sprinkles to add a bit of texture when you're washing your brushes. So I love these. And they're so cheap. I'm keeping them, obviously. This is my baby. This is my Kaja. It's beautiful, it's so cute. You cannot get these for less than £30 in the UK. So when someone was selling this for £7 on Depop, I bought it. Not the colour story I would have gone for, but I love her. She is beautiful and I'm keeping her. This is my Kiko, is it Tuscan? No, it's Unexpected Paradise Warm Honey Bronzer. She's big, like, she's big. Shall I show you how big she is compared to another bronzer? So I think it's really pretty on the skin and I am going to keep it because it just is so beautiful, right? It's annoying though, it's obnoxiously big. Oh, hello. So this is my Huda Beauty pink neon palette, whatever it's called. It's really pretty, right? But I never reach for it because I would always use a different colour than pink. Like, these mattes don't speak to me. They're not very good quality either. But these shimmers are so beautiful. Like, oh, they're so pretty. I don't know what that noise was. I'm so sorry. I'm going to keep it, even though I am way too lazy to reach for singles, let alone a palette just for one shade. But you know, this is my W7 Very Vegan contour kit. This is really cute. I like this. I never use it, but you see my phone? Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Oh, do I keep it? Nah, I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna declutter this because I feel like my brother's fiance would love that. So this is Zoeva's Spice of Life highlighting duo. So I bought this. Does it have the price? No, it doesn't. I bought it for cheap from TK Maxx. I bought this for the blush because that's not a highlight, and this pretty highlight. But do I use it ever? No. I'm gonna declutter this too, but I really do like it. I think it's worth it. It's just that I have I have too many blushes and highlights to do that, and I never reach for it. So it is pretty, and I think again my family members might like that. Okay, this is my Wet n Wild contour palette. That's what it's called. Don't make me say it. I really like this. It reminds me of Steph as well because she loves this shade. But I never reach for it. It's quite... okay, I'm going to keep it. One day, I'll get around to using it. I will. And then this is also Wet n Wild. It's the bronzer in Reserve Your Cabana, which I actually used as a setting powder. But yeah, I'm going to declutter this because I don't reach for it. And then these are empty Colourpop palettes that I bought when they were on sale. Never used them, but I'm going to keep them because they might come in handy. When you see what I keep my Colourpop singles in, you'll see why these might come in handy because it's quite chunky. And there's this one. That's what I'm going to be keeping from here. I'm gonna organize it another time, but let's keep going. Let's get these out of the way. So my Rimmel, I got this from TK Maxx as well. Yeah, look, £4. This is my colour story, right? I have never used this, but I kind of want to keep it because I think it could be really good, you know. I think I'm going to keep it because I want to try it at least. I want to try it. I got this Revolution palette. It is this one. Visionary. I got this in a giveaway. And I was like, oh, because I feel like these palettes are not as good as their collab palettes. But it's actually beautiful. Like, it's actually really beautiful. So I'm going to keep it. And also I got it from a giveaway from someone that I really love. So I'm going to keep that. Okay, so this is my OPV Spotlight palette. I got this really discounted on Beauty Bay when they were just getting rid of all of OPV stuff. It's beautiful. Like, the pigment is beautiful. The shimmers are just stunning. But I never reach for it. So I think I'm going to declutter it and see if anyone in my family wants it. Okay, so now we're on to this pile. So this has some face palettes in it as well. I'm keeping this Roxy blush palette. Look at the colours. Oh, the tones are just so beautiful in this. Don't reach for it as much as I should, but I'm keeping that. This is my I Heart Revolution Cotton Candy palette. This is such a beautiful colour story, right? And I had such high hopes, but it's rubbish. The pigment is so bad, so I'm decluttering this. Honestly, no. I was going to see if my niece wanted it, but I don't think she would. So, yeah. I'm going to declutter that. Okay, so this is my Revolution Imogen Highlight to the Moon palette. I bought this when it was on sale for like £3.50, and I've wanted this for a very long time, but I always put it off because in my head face palettes never get used, and I've used this a couple of times, so I might be correct, but it's beautiful, right? And I can pretty much use every shade in here, so I'm keeping this and I want to get more use out of that. This is my Roxasaurus contour and highlight palette, which again, I had the same thoughts about. I didn't want to get it because, you know, I might neglect face palettes, but I love this. And also when I went on holiday with my sister, she had completely wrecked hers, like completely panned everything, like loved it. So obviously after that I was like, I need to buy that. I can't use this shade, this shade, but the rest of them I can use, and I will make use of them somehow. But yeah, I'm keeping that. This is my BH Cosmetics Switzerland palette. I was very excited to get this palette. I think the colour story is beautiful. I love the artwork. But when I used it, it was not for me. Like, I don't know, the formula was just so weird on this. I really want to keep it for the colour story. I might keep it and try it again because I really love this colour story, and the swatches look pretty good, right? But yeah, even if I keep it just for the shimmers, I think, you know, I'm going to give this a go. Maybe I'll try and focus on some shades in it. Next is my BH Los Angeles, or Lost in Los Angeles, I think it's called. I took this on holiday with me, my sister and my niece when we went, and it was so cute to just like put on random colours. Like, I didn't do the usual routine just with different colours that I usually do every day. I really like played around with it, and my niece loved it as well, and I have really good memories with this palette, so I think I'm going to keep this. I also liked this formula a lot better than the last BH palette, so yeah. And I just think the shimmers are beautiful, like the colours. I really like this for a pastel palette. So my She Glam palettes. I really like this formula. The packaging is a lot thicker than the Colourpop cardboard packaging. I feel like it's a bit better quality as well, the packaging, but I don't use this. This is such a beautiful palette, I think. The shimmers are really nice. Not my favourite shimmer formula, but yeah, I think it's really nice. However, I never reach for it, so she's gonna go. So her sister, the Marvelous palette, or the Marvelous palette, this one is really pretty. I love this colour story. I think it's really good, but I never reach for this palette, so I'm again going to declutter this one. I think it's a good formula, but there are betters out there. This palette is my Morphe Everyday Chic, or Chic. I bought this the other day off Depop for £10 from someone, brand new, and I got it yesterday, and oh my god, it's my first ever Morphe palette. It's the only one that's ever spoken to me. Because can you see, oh my god, this color story is so pretty. And yeah, I tried it yesterday. I like it. The mattes are pretty. I mainly got it for the mattes because I know the shimmers are not my favorite formula. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this because she's new and really pretty. This is the only Morphe palette that's I've ever wanted to buy, so yeah, keeping that. So these are my Colourpop palettes that I haven't decluttered or haven't depotted. So this is the big book I was telling you about. There's like a series of reels on my Instagram of me setting this up and decluttering and everything from my old Colourpop palettes, and these are the shades I kept. So yeah, these are obviously staying. This is from VE Cosmetics. It's a beautiful book, so you can put multiple colour stories or brands in here, which is why I wanted to keep the smaller magnetic palettes, because they're a lot easier to travel with, because this is a bit chunky. So let's go through these. I'm not going to declutter any of these because I've kept them all for a reason. So this is, I think, one of my favourite Colourpop palettes, the So Fly. I think it's so good for every day for me because it has a little bit of colour, but it has those boring tones. I could use that in my brows, I could use that on my face for a highlight. Like, this is really good. I really like this palette and I think it's beautiful, so keeping that one. Just move them to the side so you can see. The Tinkerbell Sprinkle a Little Magic. First of all, just beautiful, right? Inside it's got a mirror with Tinkerbell on it, and the colour story is beautiful. I got this for Christmas and I was just so happy about it. I also like the way the packaging looks with the bigger pans. I really like that. I haven't used this as much as I should, so I definitely want to bring this in and into my Shop My Stash and actually use it, because everything about this is me. I love greens, I love dusty pinks, and oh, it's just gorgeous. So I really want to bring that in and use it more. I also got this for Christmas. It's the Of Quartz palette. I'm so tempted to buy the amethyst one, because if they do like a whole series of gemstones, I might have to buy them. But yeah, this is of course, I was really, oh my god, I just think this is so beautiful, and it's really unique in my collection because I don't really go for these deep tones, but it's gorgeous. I love this so much, and I'll definitely be using that more when I'm not trying to pan a black shadow. Little Ray of Sunshine. Oh my god, she's beautiful. I love this palette so much. I really like these tones as well because they don't really turn out yellow on my skin, like especially these two. They're just really nice to blend out. So yeah, I really love this. And the packaging is beautiful, so keeping. The Child. Oh, look at his face. He's so beautiful. He is the cutest in the galaxy. This palette is honestly one of my favourite Colourpop palettes. It's beautiful. If you haven't got this, you need it because it is beautiful. I love this colour story. I really liked the formula as well. I've had quite a bit of trouble with Colourpop formula, but yeah, I really like this. He's beautiful. This is my newest one. Sweet as Can Be. This reminds me of being a very young child round my neighbour's house playing The Floor is Lava and jumping across her sofas, and yeah, it just reminds me of my best friend. And it's so beautiful, this palette. I saw swatches from this account and I had to buy it. When it came back in stock, I just bought it straight away because it's such a lovely colour story. It's like my perfect one again, with the greens and the dusty pinks and purples, the yellow and the brown. I love mixing yellow and brown together. And yeah, the shimmers again are not my favourite formula, but I really like it. It's beautiful. I'm really, really in love with this palette. My Sailor Moon Pretty Guardian palette. Oh, so cute. So I've removed the glitter, but I really like this palette. Sailor Moon means quite a bit to me, and I really like this colour story. It just makes me happy. So yeah, I'm keeping this. I really want to use these tones as well because they're like everyday tones I could just roll in. And I remember rolling in the yellow and then I realised that trying to hit pan on specific eyeshadow shades does not make me happy. This palette. Just the packaging alone is beautiful. Like, this is why when Colourpop releases those clear packaging, I'm just like, why? But this palette is really pretty. It's really nice for like washes of colour. I know it's not good for dark skin tones, like majority of Colourpop stuff isn't, but for me this is really beautiful, so I'm keeping this definitely. I really love it, and the packaging, oh, so gorgeous. So is this one. The packaging is like, I can't think of what that fabric is, but it has got the fabric on it. So, oh, it looks very nice. And I got this for Christmas as well from my mother. This colour story is really good. I think a year or two ago I would have not liked this colour story because it is very neutral but deep. But now I really like neutral, so I'm interested to try this. Definitely want to bring this in as like again, like a focus palette to just use alongside other things. Maybe the palettes that I only like the shimmers in, like the Huda one. But yeah, I really like this and I think it's really gorgeous. And then finally my Garden Variety palette. Bit of a mess. I need to use this more. I really like the colour story, but honestly, like, the packaging, you know, it's really pretty. And this is one of the first Colourpop palettes I really wanted. And I'm really happy I got it. So yeah, I'm going to keep all of those. So we have this little palette, pile of palettes. You can see my partner's in cream notes. So these are like Revolution, or let's just go through them. So this is my Catrice 5 in a box. This is Vivid Burgundy. This is beautiful, right? Really good formula, really good pigmentation, especially for such a cheap palette. Cookie. My chinchilla just had a nightmare. I'm so sorry. I think this is a really pretty palette. I'm gonna declutter it because I think that my brother's fiance will love this. So yeah, but I do recommend these if you can find them. I could only find this shade, but if you can find them, I really do recommend them. Okay, this is one of my favorite palettes. Like, even if the formula wasn't good, the packaging is so beautiful. Oh my god. The formula isn't my favorite, but I do love it. So this is the Kaleidos Sashimi City. These are the colours. Oh, this is so pretty. I would totally take this travelling with me, but I don't travel, and also it's quite chunky and I wouldn't want to ruin it, but it is beautiful. I don't know if you can see the like shift, but they're so beautiful. I really, really love Kaleidos. I would love to try more from them. Okay, so this is my Revolution Enchanted, like Forever Flawless palette. I wanted this a year it was released, but didn't buy it. And then I bought it, I think, last year. And honestly, I really like this colour story. It's deep and grungy. It makes me think of Halloween, obviously. I love the imprints. I really like the formula as well. Like, I really like these. I think this is one of Revolution's best palettes. That isn't a collab, because usually the collabs are the best ones. Also, Project Panna on Instagram. Oh my god, her looks with this are just beautiful. She really inspires me to use all of my palettes, even if they're not like expensive. And whenever she uses this, I'm like, I need to get it. I need to get it out. This is the Roxy Ride or Die palette. I love this palette. I just think it is so pretty. It reminds me of my favourite season, favourite time of year. I have also rolled them into focus shades because I want this palette to look loved, because it is. I really like this Revolution palette. I had her other one that was a lot more pastel, but this one is one that I would definitely reach for more, so I kept this one. And I'm going to keep it again because it's so pretty. Right, so this one, I Heart Revolution Love Spells. Can we just, it's really pretty, right? And part of me wants to buy all of them because they're so pretty, and I want to keep them as a collection. But I'm not going to do that because they've released way too many for me to buy. The formula is good, right? It's good, like, oh, it's pretty and speaks to me, but not enough for me to actually reach for it. So I'm gonna declutter it, but I'm also gonna declutter it because it means I don't have to collect them. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think I'm gonna declutter it, but I think the formula from this one anyway is good. But again, Revolution, who really knows? Who knows what formula you're going to be getting? Ugh, look at my fingers. Okay, so this one, however, the So Super Spice, I adore this palette, and I want to focus on this sometime because I love it. I love all the texture that you can get. So this palette always encourages me to do sunset eyes too. I always, because these colours are just so bright. Yeah, I just really love this palette. I think it's really good. So that's another Revolution one I would recommend. Okay, so we're on the last hurdle. These are my palettes I've sort of pulled out because I want to use more, or they're in projects or just something like that. So let's start with this one, So I actually won this in a giveaway, the same giveaway that I got the Revolution palette in. She put so many extras in and I'm so happy and thankful. This is the Natasha Denona mini retro palette. So this is beautiful. I really love this colour story. I really wish she had have gone with this sort of muted dusky colour story for her midi retro palette, but she didn't, and it doesn't look anything like the retro palette, so I'm really sad about that. I'm going to keep this because I treasure this so much that I want it. Someone actually bought this for me, like that means so much to me. But yeah, I'm going to keep that one. This is my Going Coconuts Colourpop palette. She's well loved. I'm trying to hit pan on Shredded. Yeah, I really like this palette. I didn't at first because I didn't like neutrals, and I just sort of kept this palette when I decluttered all of my Colourpop palettes because it was like iconic. It's the Colourpop palette. And then I started using it and realised I love neutrals. So this is what actually got me into neutrals, and I love this. This shade was not a focus shade and I still hit pan on it. That was for my brows, and this is for setting my eyeshadow, and I'm still trying to hit pan on that because it's taking forever. But yeah, I really like this. I love Palm Reader in the middle as well. You see all the dips. She's keeping. I'm keeping her. She's keeping. Okay. Anyway, the next palette is my Oden's Eye Selmane 2. Can we just take a second to just take in this packaging? Oh my god, Oden's Eye formula is one of my favourite formulas. Their packaging is always beautiful, but this is just on another level. Like when I saw this, without even looking at the colour story, because the colour story at first did not speak to me, when I saw this I was like, this is made for me. So I bought it, and I'm so happy I did because I adore the colour story now. Now that I actually got it in person, I feel like it doesn't pick up on camera how beautiful this is. So it's like jewel tones that are very muted, and I don't know, it's just so beautiful. I always reach for this shade and just put it over the top of every shimmer. Usually I hate the blue rose in palettes, but the top row is just so beautiful to me. Their shimmers are my favourite. Oden's Eye and Beauty Bay are my favourite shimmer. So yeah, I really love Oden's Eye, and this palette is beautiful. So keeping. So this palette is Judy's palette, the Red Dragon palette. Whenever I buy from Oden's Eye, I always use her code. I just love Judy so much. And again, just beautiful packaging. I love this. The colour story is so beautiful. I've said that so many times this video, but like honestly, I think this is one of my favourite palettes. I don't use it as much as I should, and I definitely need to use it more. But oh my god, like Sunrise. Oh, I don't know, there's something about these like murky yellowy browns and like this kind of pukey green. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I love this palette and I love Judy, so obviously I'm keeping it. So this palette I got with the Cotton Candy one. It's the I Heart Revolution Nudes palette. I really like this palette. I think it's quite good for a neutral palette, and it's also super cheap. Let me show you the pigmentation. So can you see? It's really nicely pigmented for a Revolution palette, right? Like, I'm quite happy with this palette. I bought it because someone was going through their makeup. Like, I watched loads of declutter videos, and she said she's bought this 3 times while she was at uni, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it, and I actually really like it. I'm gonna keep it, but oh god, do I keep it? I've got so many neutrals that I want to use. I think I'm going to declutter it. Oh, I really like this palette though, and I think that if you don't have a lot of money and you need like a basic everyday palette, this is a really good one. I'm going to declutter this, but not because it's bad. My favourite palette ever, the Earthy palette. Oh my lord, Lime, hello Lime, we love you. Just the most beautiful palette I've ever seen in my entire life. It's beautiful. It is me in a palette. So yeah, my favourite palette. I really recommend this, even if you just get like the 12 pan. Or is it 12? It might be 16 pan. But it's so cheap, so worth it. I just love Beauty Bay palettes so much. The formula is beautiful. And finally, my Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette. So I got this off Depop maybe a year or two ago. It's not my favourite Beauty Bay palette at all. Like, I don't reach for this that often. I've been trying to reach for it a lot more, especially the shimmers, because you just cannot go wrong with Beauty Bay shimmers. Like, it's beautiful, right? I want to reach for this more. I'm also trying to hit pan on Hex this year because I hardly ever use black eyeshadow, let alone come close to hitting pan on it. So I've been tallying my usages, and I'm trying to hit pan on a black eyeshadow this year, and it's going not well because frankly I am scared of black eyeshadow, like. But I'm keeping this because it's Beauty Bay and I have goals that I want to hit. So this is all the palettes and the products that we've got rid of. We've decluttered 10 products. I'm quite chuffed with that. A lot of them are things that have been sort of like weighing on me as well, that I like have to get rid of but haven't been. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed with that. My next drawer I might not declutter loads from because I have a feeling that's my more expensive drawer. It's quite nerve-wracking decluttering stuff for me. So having someone to like hold my hand, really helpful. Thank you guys for watching and being with me on this journey. Yeah, thank you guys.